Hey everyone, here's a tutorial for White Stripes, We're Going to Be Friends. It's actually translates to the ukulele really well. It's an easy song to play, but the way that I'm going to teach you how to play it, it's just going to require you to practice it quite a bit. It took me a good 3 days to get this down without screwing it up every single time. So I'll go through the chords real quick. I mean, one thing you should do is download go to whatever guitar tabs site you use, chordy.com or whatever, and go get the chords for the song so you can read along with the words. But basically each verse has a G chord, and that's how the song is going to start out, and that's your index finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 1st string of the 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret. And then it has a C. The next chord is a C chord, which is just your ring finger on the 1st string of the 3rd fret, and a D chord, which is the top 3 strings of the 2nd fret. I do that with just barring that with my middle finger. And there's also an A chord, one A chord in the entire song, which is toward the end, and that is your index finger on the 3rd string of the 1st fret, and your middle finger on... Get out! Get out! And your middle finger on the top string of the 4th fret. Sorry about that. So, let's go through the way to play the song. It's basically a little bit of finger picking, so you start out with that G chord, and you're going to pluck the top string, the G string, with your thumb. Oh, by the way, this does definitely sound better if you have a low G. It does work with a high G, but it's just doesn't sound quite the same. So if you have a high G and you don't like the sound of this picking pattern, you can strum it, I guess. Anyway, so you're going to pluck that top string with your thumb, and then you're going to pluck the 2nd and 3rd strings with your index. So 3rd string gets the index, and the middle finger is the 3rd string there. Sorry, it would be the 2nd string from the bottom. So it goes like this. You do that twice. So 1, 2, and then on the next one you pluck again with your thumb, and with your middle finger you pluck the bottom, just the bottom string, and then back to the 2 strings. So top, okay, so the whole intro is pluck the top, pluck the middle 2, pluck the top, pluck the middle 2, pluck the top, just pluck the bottom, top, middle 2, top, bottom, top, middle 2, top, bottom, top, middle 2. So it's twice of this, then 2, 3, and then you start singing. So, and then through each verse, it's just that pattern for the most part. So G's, it's like, so you start the first pattern is top, bottom. Fall is here, ring the bell, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell. Then onto the C chord, and the same pattern. Brand new shoes, walking blues, back to G. Climb the fence, books and pens, and now you go to the D chord, and I do this a little different. I play the D chord, so you still pluck the top string. So I pluck that, and then with my middle finger, I pluck the 2nd string from the bottom there. So it goes C, and then back to G, and then the bottom. So I know that's a little confusing, but it's pluck the top string. This is on the G string. This is on the D chord. Top, and then with your middle finger, pluck the 2nd string from the bottom, top, and then the bottom string, and then go to the C chord, and it's top, 2nd string from the bottom, same thing, top, and then the bottom string, and then to the G chord, and you do the top, and you got to pluck the bottom string this time, and then back to that double pluck, and do that twice, and then back to the D chord, C, G, and then you play this, and then goes to the next verse. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We will rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found. And D chord. Safely walk to school without a sound. So, hope that's clear. Let me see if I can get closer. But once again on that D chord, pluck the top with your thumb, middle finger plays the second string, top, bottom. Then go to the C, top, second string, top, bottom, and back to the G, bottom, double pluck, bottom, double pluck. I would suggest that you practice just with when you start practicing the song, just practice like just the double pluck, the entire song. So for all the chords, you can just practice this pluck. So top and then the middle two strings. So you go fall is here, hear the owl, back to school, ring the bell, C chord, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the blue fence, books and pens, and I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. That's probably a good way to just start playing this whole song, because then you just get used to the finger picking and you get used to the chord changes, and then you can start adding the other stuff like the D chord. And another cool thing is you can kind of mess up the picking and it still sounds right, but the important thing is that you start each verse with that G chord. If you're going to do the alternate, the up and down, it's G chord with the bottom string. Or just play the song. It really doesn't sound any different or any worse this way. Another alternate, sorry to give you all these alternates, but another alternate way to do this is to play the top string with your thumb and then play all three of these strings, plucking. So it's index finger, middle finger, and your ring finger. So fall is here, back to school, or hear the owl, back to school. Fall is here, hear the owl, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens, and I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Anyway, all those are good ways to play and practice, and it's good to alter it up too. All right, so you go through the, let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 verses, and then you get to a little bit of a bridge, which is the we don't notice any time pass, and that's going to change the chords a little bit. So instead of starting with a G on that, it's a C. And when I get to this part of the song, I don't do the alternate pluckings like this. You can, but I just do the middle two strings, or sometimes I'll do all three of these, but I don't do the up and down pitch. So we're on to we don't notice any time pass. So that's a C chord. We don't notice any. So I'm plucking all three of these strings. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the song. So it goes, we don't notice any. And then it goes to a G chord. Time pass. Back to C. We don't notice any. Back to G. Thing. And then here is the lone A chord. We sit side by side in every class. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then to a C chord. Teacher thinks that I sound funny. And then D chord. But she likes the way you sing. And then it goes to the end, which I'll go over in just a sec. But I also like to sometimes slow that little part down, so I'll just play it. I didn't do it on the cover, but this is sometimes fun to do. You go. We don't notice any time pass. We don't notice anything. We sit side by side in every class. Teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes the way you sing. Tonight I'll be my... So that's kind of a fun way to play it, but you can do whatever you want. Alright, so then we go to the very last part of the song, which is the same chords as all of the verses, so it's G, C, D. But there's one extra line in the last verse there, so it's G, tonight I'll dream while I'm in bed. And I just pluck all three of these strings, or I pluck two of them. I either leave the bottom one out, or I have all three of them going. So it's tonight I'll dream while I'm in bed, when silly thoughts go through my head. So that's G. And then goes to C, about the bugs and alphabet, and back to G. When I wake tomorrow, I bet that. And that's D. You and I will see, walk together, and then G again. And then you do that, I can tell we're going to be friends twice. So, yes, I can tell that we are going to be friends. Oh, I guess I lied to you. There is one extra chord. So it goes, and then the last one, I can tell that we are gonna be, and then instead of plucking on this last chord, you're gonna strum it, and I think it's a D6 is what it is. It's your index. Basically, you take your. I'm sorry, it's a G6. You take your ring finger off, basically the G chord. So it's just your index finger on the third string of the second fret, and your middle finger on the first string of the second fret, and that's the chord. So that is the song. It'll drive you a little nuts kind of practicing it for 2 or 3 days, but as soon as it clicks, it'll click, and then you can alter it up all you want and play it any different way you want. So you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to send me a message, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks.